Hey, yeah,
Yo,
let me
yo,
say this out
yo.
the gate. Hold on, let me go with a disclaimer today. If we say anything outrageously crazy, be warned, the red cups. This show is produced and brought to you by the Red Cup. I don't need to say no more. You understand what that means? I'm nice, you nice. First of all, brother, I am in the vineyard.
Nice,
I'm in my
nice.
vineyard. I got here yesterday after shout out to my man Joe Neal, Popcorn and Jokes in Orlando, Florida. New York Kings was out there this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Great time. I didn't even sleep. We closed the club down Saturday. I went to my room. I got my bags. I went to the airport.
First thing
And
smoking.
yeah, and I'm in fucking vineyard, right? So yesterday was a travel day. Like you, I got the red cup. Now it's daytime, so I'm just sipping a little rum. But last night, Amir, I took this edible. Best night ever, bro. I love when my first nights in any town is like that. So we good money, slept late, blah, blah, blah. Got my eggs when I woke up, my coffee. I'm back on track. How was your weekend?
Man, the weekend was absolutely incredible, brother. It's good to see you. Man, I'm up here in PA, Stroudsburg, PA, and I had the opportunity this weekend to go to the Rock the Bells joint in Queens this weekend. They had a really dope Rock the Bells concert with Ice Cube, LL, Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, The Locks, Diplomat, Little Kim, Havoc, and Little C's. Trina, when I say the concert was off the chain, and I got a chance to see your cousin Ed, he was in the building, so I got a chance to see him among other, people from every walk of life. Greg Nice, Grand Pooba was there, Large Professor. It was just a really, really great concert. But what made it even better was it was Queens representing Queens, Fat Joe and Remy Ma. It was Queens representing Queens, man. It was just a
Okay.
really, really great concert. It was hot as all fish grease, but it was dope, man. And I was just glad that I had an opportunity to get it, check it out, be a part of that whole situation this
Let
weekend.
me
And
tell
then the
you the
rest of
dumbest shit. You know, I know you didn't see Tina and them out there, but Tina went out there with her man Otis, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. So I hit him at the end of the night. How was LL? Oh, we left right before LL. How the fuck
yo, yeah,
you go to the Rock the Bell Festival?
joint.
You didn't even rock the bell. You didn't stay there.
Yeah. So so hold up. So I'm gonna tell you how funny that is, T, to your point. So checking out the whole concert. When I tell you it was hot out there, when I say hot, I mean hot. Everybody out there was dripping sweat, and feet, legs, and that was killing them, because if you weren't sitting in the stadium part of it, like, which was the seating, you were down on the floor, and on the floor was incredibly hot. Look, they had paramedics on staff. It was just people passing out left and right. That's how hot it was. That's a true story. Oh, the other thing that was really dope about the event as well was a number of artists are now getting into the food business. So Bun B had his Trill Burgers out there. Mia X had a stand where she was cooking crawfish, fish, and some other stuff. E40 had a joint that said goons, pots and pans, goons and spoons. Um, Nas had Sweet Chick out there. And somebody else, some other famous person had a joint. So it was really dope, man. They had all of they you could, get food from their various food lines. It was a really, really
That's
dope.
dope.
Then they had all these really dope spots where you could take pictures, and and then they had a lot of refreshing stuff. They had wine. Corona has this new line of refreshers that like lime and coconut and all the stuff with a little bit of alcohol. So it was a really, really dope setup.
Well, you
Everything went
see, I
well.
like that. That part right there. When you said that, a vision came right. How dope is that, right? You at the Rock the Bells joint, and the food trucks are associated with the rappers on it. That's
Yeah.
like every food truck is associated. Oh, Busta Rhymes burgers, or
Or
yeah. I
something.
mean, I think that's just a dope economic entrepreneur jump out the window. Yeah, but I think the festival itself was dope. I mean, when
Yes.
you put on paper and people were going live in there, so I got to see some footage and shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is like
I tell you what, you talk about, like you said, we call this Motivational Monday. So we out, and there was a taco thing next to Bun B's Trill Burgers. He ran out of vegan burgers. He came out himself personally to greet everybody on the line and was like, "Yo, I'm sorry to tell this, man, but I ran out of the vegan burgers. I still got plenty of beef burgers and all that stuff. So, if y'all be patient, we'll still get you fed." And shook hands, took pictures. And I thought that was so dope because I was like, he could have hid behind, whatever and just been like, "Hey, I'm sorry," or let everybody be frustrated. But literally, the man came out himself to shake everybody's hand, take pictures, tell people, he was sorry that, he didn't have enough supplies. And I thought that was dope because I was like, that's when you really are trying to talk to the people and be there for the people. So I thought that was really, really dope, man. To just, talk about how motivating things can be. And I was like, man, that's when you're official tissue. You come
Well,
and be a part of the people for real.
shout out to the Rock the Bell special, LL Cool J, the station, everything for doing what they're doing to keep hip hop positive. I'm proud of my guys.
Yes.
When I see my guys for the last like 20, 40 interviews I've been watching, I'm proud of my guys. When I say my guys, I'm talking about all those hip hop heads that I grew up with, came up on, that in the beginning may have had to do what they had to do to get by and get it out there, and now have flip-flopped and turned into these pillars of their communities. I want to applaud y'all. You fit everything that we're about with this Motivation Monday thing. Thank y'all so much. My top story, which is kind of synonymous to that, where I'm at now, right? This is the 11th year for the Marvelous Vineyard Comedy Festival. It's gotten so big. They dedicate the month of August to these guys now.
Nice.
My favorite part happened this year. So last year I'm out here, right? For the 10th anniversary, it's supposed to be a big milestone. He finally hired me to come out and do it. And I remember riding by, because it's COVID season, so they had to make some adjustments and make it work. So they ride every time we turn the corner to go where the new venue is. They're like, "See that theater? That's where we used to do it for 9 years, and then COVID, the theater shut down and they opened back up from COVID, blah blah blah. Man, I'm gonna check into it, man. I wish I could buy that theater and all this shit." This is me riding with the promoter. Came out here this year, kind of find out, motherfucker bought the theater.
Nice.
So this year, not only is it shows he feels good, because the people is back into the Strand Theater, but now he has the lease and it's his theater. So I told him, as soon as he picked me up from the airport, I said, "Bro, I heard you didn't tell me, nigga. You didn't tell me, somebody else told me, but I'm super proud of that, and I appreciate that, and I applaud you. Congratulations." He's like, "Yeah, it's a lot to go with." I said, "But you ain't gonna tell me, nigga. I done jumped out the window several times, so I know how the business part of it go. But do you understand the optics of that progression?" See, a lot of us don't understand something. First thing I'm gonna talk about is this. First thing I'm gonna talk about on Motivation Monday is the optics. Sometimes I'm gonna go back into like entrepreneurship 101. The optics are so important to some things most of the time that you skip over them and don't pay attention sometimes, right? I remember my first tour, when I put my first tour out, everybody's like, on paper, "Oh my God, it's crazy, blah, blah, blah." So we're doing good. When I first start, I have either me, Monique, Hamburger, Shucky Ducky, or me, Brahman, Monique, Chocolate. Those are my main joints from the beginning of my tour. And I remember we went south for 4 days in a row. We had like South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, like 2 different parts of Virginia. And our flyers at the time, we were getting made and printed on the West Coast. So we had to ship them to these cities. Bruh, we get these flyers in the boxes, we go pick them up, open them up. They fucked up 2 cities.
Ooh,
so let's say it's in Harlem at the Apollo, right? In Jersey at NJ Pack. But the address is flip-flop. So the one that's supposed to be over here is over here. One's supposed to be over here, right? So we go to Kinko's, we print out labels. So Amir, we already know what the time frame we got, which is about 5, 6 days. We like this is going to affect business. So what we got to do, the people that we fix it in time, cool. But it's going to be a bunch of people we're not going to fix it in time. So we need to hit all the malls up, all the surrounding areas, and get active in the seats. It wasn't about whether it was a paid ticket, we're going to make money. It was about the optics. Here it is, a new tour. And we're like in our second weekend or some shit like that. And we're doing good when the promotion's right, but we can't let people see when it goes wrong. So we do all this little extra shit. By the time we get to the show, it looked like we packed it out. It looked like we sold our main tickets. We didn't sell any tickets. We gave out just as many as we sold, but we knew how important the optics were. I say that to bring that up to motivate people, not just in business, not just in your entrepreneurship, but in life in general. If you pay attention more to the optics of things, it will give you an inside look at the repercussion or the impact of certain things. A lot of times we don't know the impact of what we do. We don't know the repercussions to the levels of what we do because we didn't look at how optics are going to swing things. Think about every news story that comes across the bulletin. How they spin that and the pictures they show and the video they got, the footage, the optics form public opinion. So apply that to you in your personal life. Apply that to the people you be around, the friends, the families, the loved ones you fucking be around. And raising kids. What are the optics showing?
You know what? That is an absolutely powerful thing that you bring to the table this week with that ideology. So many of us have been trained to believe that what we think about a specific situation is the end all to be all versus, to your point, what we actually see and then perceive the situation to be. And it's so funny because I watch time and time again, to your point, how people don't realize that the optics of things has so much more of an impact than the actual wording, the actual being there, and everything else in between. When I was at the event, like I said, this weekend for the Rock the Bells thing, it was incredible to see that stadium full up because, to my knowledge, it's an old former tennis stadium that they're now utilizing to do concerts and whatever other venues out in Queens. The only reason why I'm sure that that's what it is because inside, under the underbelly of it, they had a poster that had Billie Jean King, had Chris Evert, it had Arthur Ashe, and it had one other tennis person who I can't remember off the top of my head. But they had them on a thing that they hung all around the stadium. And I was like, oh, this must be before they redid the stadiums that they now have in Flushing Meadows, where they have now moved the US Open to and all that stuff. This must have been where they initially had all those tennis matches. So to your point, it's amazing how certain things that have held court and have been so prominent to people for such a long time have a rebirth. And sometimes it's the optics and the things that go along with it that give it that new life, that give it that new energy. And it's up to us as fans of whatever, because, it doesn't have to be a rap situation. Heck, this weekend, you and I are just talking about what happened with the Rock the Bells concert. But for people who are paying attention, for people who were fortunate enough to go, we also had rap in Carnegie Hall this weekend, y'all, Friday night. Rap music hit Carnegie Hall. Whether you love us or hate us or love rap music or don't love it, you got to think about how grand that is. Carnegie Hall has been a place where, technically speaking, it has been about opera, it has been about classical music. So to have hip hop grace those same halls and have the likes of people like Big Daddy Kane, I think Slick Rick was on the bill, Hezekiah Walker, I think Ashante was on the bill. I saw the Locks even perform. To have these groups have the opportunity to play those places that you would know only Pavarotti or people of that ilk to have played, that says a lot about what we're and how we're moving in this current format of the world. And I just implore everybody, don't be so short-sighted and so short-minded in how you see your vision, because your vision can end up being the thing that sparks and or helps the next generation create the next thing to go even further. So please know that whatever you're going through, whatever steps you're taking, whatever that process is, you're inspiring somebody. I promise you. I know sometimes we don't think that that's the case, but you have no idea who's watching you, how, and why they watch you. I bumped into so many people at the Rock the Bells thing that, you know, friends for various reasons, different walks of life. And it was so dope to have all of them just come up and go, man, it's great to see you here. I'm glad you're enjoying. I was telling them the same thing, man. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see hip hop in this format for those of us who are in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, because y'all got to think about it. Rap is 40 years old or something like that now, if I'm not mistaken. That's a long time that we've been paying attention to rap. They had a contest, T, to show you how funny this is. They had a contest where they had to lace Adidas sneakers. So they had 4 people participate. They laced the sneakers, and then they told the dude who won, you got to rap My Adidas. The dude was 20 years old. He didn't have no clue how to sing My Adidas. So it was kind of hilarious that he won, but then didn't even know the song. I'm like, sir, come on, bro. But I realized that's 40 years. This is 20 years beyond what his scope is in terms of what rap music is. And I promise you, if you're a fan of any genre, a fan of anything, be a student of it, y'all. Y'all hear me say that all the time. Please, if you're a fan of comedy, be a student of it. If you or if you know plan to be in that field, be a student of your craft, because it behooves you to know not only the greats, but just to know the people who have helped put bricks in that wall or in that quilt. For some of y'all who are into quilts, to get you to where you are. There are other people who you're standing on their shoulders, whether you believe that or not. You are. You're the latest and the greatest, but they were late. They were great at some point too. I promise you, there is nothing new under the sun. It is just newer to you because you haven't crossed that bridge yet. You haven't gone down that pathway yet. And I think to your point, T, about, you know, the the comedy show that goes on there in Martha's Vineyard, you got to think about that, y'all. That's dope that it's 11 years running. They have this really great concert to allow the people in Martha's Vineyard to totally immerse themselves in comedy and the greatness of all of these wonderful comedians who now, you look at our brother Talon who's on here. He got 30 years in the game. Some of y'all got kids that old or younger. I want y'all to think about that. That's a lot of experience, a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of stuff to share. And Motivational Monday, that's really what this is about. Sharing things and information that hopefully puts you in the mind frame, the mindset to move forward in whatever it is you think you need to be doing. That's what this is about, you know?
And brother, this is a big week out here. The film festivals out here this week that I'm here.
Oh, wow.
So Barack's on the island.
Nice.
My whole thing is like, let's let Barack come to one of these shows. Just come get one of these joints under your belt, fam. And let's blaze. Like my show, let me shout out the venue first of all. Let me pull up the flyer. I gotta shout out my show. My show, Chris Spencer, Husbands of Hollywood, me and my girl, Coco Brown. Now, Rudy Rush was here. Shout out to Rudy Rush. Rob Stapleton was here doing his thing. Shout out to Mark Gregory was here. Shout out to him. Those are the guys that opened up because they added a week on the front end. Usually it's like 3 weeks in August. They added a week on the front end because the Black College giveaway was here. So they was like, you know what? Let's capitalize. We got our folks in here extra week. Let's do what we did, right? So that was week one. Now, here we go. Like I said, Alonzo Bowden, week one. Brandy, my girl Brandy Dennis came over here with him that first week. So this week is Chris Spencer, myself, Coco Brown, and then they'll close out next week, a full week of comedy with my man JJ from the SIP, JJ Williamson, B Flat, and David Arnold, hosted by Damon Williams. It's the Martha's Vineyard Comedy Festival, the 11th annual. And like I said, at the Strand Theater, with my guy who promotes and create this thing, taking over the Strand now, they got a home base that's actually their home base. So the dividends are coming in different that way. Our first show is tonight. I work every night this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tonight, first show. Sold out. So, you know what we about to do? We about to take this sold out crowd, kick their ass to oblivion, so that everybody gonna hear about it out like we gotta get a ticket, we gotta go and come out. Now I know tonight, shout out to Morris Chestnut, a couple of cats in the building tonight because it's film festival. But my goal to get Barack out.
Just one night. Look, I tell you what, T, you just do what you do, man. You know, and I say this humbly, man, because, you know, obviously, you know, for people who know, you know, the work that you put into your career and how you've built your brand and your name, they know what they know. But like I said, I saw your cousin and Ed, you know, as always, man. I didn't even see him. You know, Wifey saw him and she was like, Amir, isn't that right over there? And I looked, I was like, sure enough it is. I went over, gave me a pound. He said, what up, boy? He said, you know, I love you. So I said, you know, I love you too, man. He says, good to see you. I said, same here, man. Everything's good. He said, yeah, because I know he had a party Friday night in Brooklyn at that Poly game. And I said, man, I'm sorry. He said, man, it don't make a difference that you're here now. That's all that matters. But I share that with people because I think that that's something that people don't realize. Yes, it is great for us to have moments where you are in the building with the people who you want to be in the building with. But sometimes you might just meet the great people that you're supposed to meet in passing. Just do yourself a favor. Acknowledge the moment, be in the moment. And by that, I mean be present. Don't be so caught up that you know, I'm filming everything. Just bask in the moment. Wow, this person acknowledged me. I acknowledge them. They're happy to see me. I'm happy to see them. That's important. We have gotten so out of touch with understanding that the moments, as fleeting as they may be, and they are sometimes, not all the time, you just got to be happy about those moments. You got to enjoy every single solitary thing there is to enjoy. Are there things to complain about? No question, y'all. But I promise you, I'm one of these people. I do my best to look for the enjoyment in everything. Does that mean I don't have issues? Does that mean problems don't come my way? Of course they do. I'm just not looking for them. I'm looking for the stuff that was dope. I'm looking for the stuff that was fun because the more I look to that, the more I ingratiate myself to those things, the more those things come back to me. So I promise you, when you focus on the positive, when you focus on the good, when you think about the good, when you put yourself in the energy of the good, the universe is listening. It will then bring more of that to you because that's what you're asking for. I know that everybody thinks that there's some mythical, magical thing that's happening. No, it's just a matter of you getting in tune with the greatest version of you and applying that to the world and then letting the world to go, I see you. I know what you're up to. I want to be a part of it because that's really what ends up happening. When I hang out with you and you know all these nefarious things that people, I mean, I'm like, I was just looking to be out and have a good time and be around people who I could celebrate, people who celebrate me. That's something else. I got to work on that. Please, it's imperative. Don't get caught up in this person didn't hit me back. You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what issues they may be or challenges they may have. Excuse me.
That's how you know. That's how you know women are bipolar. Talking about people don't hit you back. You ever just let a text go? Just don't answer back. Just let them go. You get 4 or 5 texts in. They done went through 10 different emotions because they didn't get an answer on hello.
Yeah.
Or what's goody. And the next 3 to 5 well, fuck it. I'm like, yo, let it breathe. Let it fucking breathe. Like, it's just that fucking simple, bro. Just let it breathe. Now, here's to my people out here. We're coming up in about 5 minutes is the jeweler today. But I want to shout out all my people who have been going through this flight transport. The flights have been super fucked up. Out in Florida and Orlando, Capone couldn't even make it out there, right? He was stuck in Newark Airport for 2 days, and I feel his pain because that was me the first day. I just happened to get lucky and super creative to get to do some plan B and C shit and get my ass out there. For the same reason he was trying to get out there, because he felt like, you know what? My bag's out there. I put my important shit in the bag. I need to get there. So that's how I felt like, damn, my bag's out there. I know that I got to go to the vineyard, which is a longer trip than this little weekend trip. So I'm like, I need, not want. I need my bag. So I got creative. I got out there. But shout out to the people, because as I'm out here in the vineyard, nobody's smooth. Everybody's 10 hours. Everybody's dedicated. Everybody's not gonna wait for that. So there's a lot of that going on. I want people to stay encouraged to try not to blow a blood vessel. Try to keep your faith and keep your energy in the right place, because your energy is going to be what wills things to be done right. If that makes any sense. The minute your energy, because this is what we have a habit of. We have a habit of something happening. Throws the energy out of whack. We cursing up a storm. We pissed off. We bad. We mad too because this, that. Energy is energy. What we put out there is what stays around us. So we gotta be careful that when things don't work our way, we stay motivated and keep the energy positive, so that that thing right there, thing number D, might have been fucked up. But if your energy stay right and you be like, okay, chalk it up, stay positive, E may be correct. E may even come in abundance. That's the shit. But if you stay getting knocked off your tilt, if you will, by things going haywire wrong, that energy that you start to fester and bubble up is there for the next thing. We got to be conscious of that shit, because life is not one thing. Life is all these steps. You know what I mean? So when them steps happen and they don't go the way you want them to go, still be conscious and mindful of the energy going forward.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think to exactly to your point, and I say this, and share this with everybody. Look, the journey of life obviously has twists and turns that sometimes you're prepared for, sometimes you're not. But I will say this: you more times than not are actually in control of whatever the outcome of your uh situation is than you know. I know people go, well, this crops up and that crops up. Those things crop up because you write those things into your story. The moment you have any sort of doubt, and I know that people are going to say no, but the moment you have any sort of doubt, meaning you have envisioned something going a specific way, but then for 2 seconds you go, well, what if this happens? You put that doubt in the story. And what happens is the universe responds to what you're saying. Everything that you do has energy. Your thoughts have energy, your actual words have energy, and then your physical presence is energy. So all of these things actually work in conjunction with one another. I know sometimes it's hard for us to, believe that or think that, because we're going, no, this only happened because this happened. No, anything and everything that happens is based off of you and only you. There is nothing that happens by accident or coincidence. All of the things that manifest themselves in your lives are microcosms of your thoughts, your actions, and the things that you share and or say. I even think to myself, because a lot of people don't realize this, but when we gossip, good, bad, and indifferent, you got to think about this. If you're out here saying something negatively about somebody, this, that, the third, then in theory, you're putting negative energy again into the universe. Do you want negative energy or do you want positive energy? Personally, like I said, I'm a positive energy kind of person overall. So what I try to do is always think of everything that I'm trying to do in a positive manner. I try to speak things into existence. I try to think things into existence. And then I actually go along with whatever is going on in the world. I'm one of those people who utilizes my ideology to say, let me flow with this like water. I know that's hard for some of y'all because emotions become attached to things. You're like, my emotions are involved. And that's okay. You're going to have an emotional reaction to things. But having an emotional reaction to things doesn't mean that you totally veer off the path that you supposedly set for yourself.
Right.
You have an emotional reaction. You take a moment, think about it, be like, you know what? Let me calm myself down, go into a Zen-like space, whatever it takes for you to get there. If it's music, if it's art, if it's looking at funny videos or comedy, whatever it is, Get to that space where you then start to feel good again, and then go back to whatever it is you were trying to do in terms of what you saw for yourself and how you saw things playing out. I'm telling you, it's paramount. It's a that's huge, huge, huge. I can't express that enough.
Well, listen, I mean, people got to understand this thing, man. Um, the energy, you're gonna hear this. You've been hearing it for 3 years now. Every show we're talking, that's gonna come up. Not because it's just a fun, pretty word, because that's what I truly believe. I truly believe because time has showed me over time these energies dictating failure or progression. Success and failure, they have their own two different energies. And for whatever reason, I know we're human and I know we need to take a minute and process a lot of times. So, but for whatever reason, bad news and failures puts us in an energetic funk that sometimes I believe personally may take way longer than it needs to take because we allow it to.
Yes.
When I fail, I've been known to get up the next day, to the ladies, and go and jump and dive it into the next. I'm not a guy, even after something I deem a failure, go, no, can't do that no more. No, I'm a guy that always sees the big picture. And if the big, I will fail 10 times if I still believe in the big picture. If I
Yes.
still believe the big picture's out there to be got, I will be here and fail. Because what else is failure than rehearsal? I'm going to say that
I agree.
again. Because what else is failure if it's not rehearsal? Think of anything that's a learned behavior. Anything you've learned, you didn't know it first. And when you went to learn it, right away you start failing. Because to
Correct.
learn something, you're going to fail first because you don't know it. I'm not talking about something you know a little bit of. I'm saying jumping out the window and say, I want to learn this new thing, boom. So be prepared for to start with failure because you don't know it. But as you
Correct.
begin to learn it and know it and become accustomed to it, you start to not fail or fail less and fail a little less and then fail a little less. And next thing you know, you're doing whatever that thing is. How many times people out there, pay attention to me, how many times you went from the guy I just described, fast forward, I don't know, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you're teaching it.
True story. You know what's so funny about that is I think that, that's something else that we have to take. Progression is always a good thing. I'm out here, like I said, in PA, and obviously I had to drive back into the city to get to the concert. And I was smiling because, you got I-80 up here and, various routes that you take. And I don't know, for those of you who drive, you've experienced this. You ever be out on the highway and you're technically racing, but you're not racing, meaning, you're driving along and few cars that have been keeping up with you. Y'all keep passing each other, every so often, kind of just trying to keep pace. But they ever zoom past you and they way past you. You'd be like, all right, well, I'm never going to see them again. Yet you stayed your course. You just continuously stay your course. You continue to do what you're doing. And then you catch back up to them or you pass them and they look and give you that weird, like, what the? Because progression, consistency, and a level of steadiness will always get you to your destination. Let's say that again. Progression, steadiness, and consistency will always get you to your destination. Don't allow other people and other things to get you off your pathway or to trick you into believing that you need to come up with something new and different. You just need to stay the course. We stress that all the time on this show as well. Stay the course. Whatever your end goal is, whatever your end game is, it's a stay the course kind of thing. And please, even though I'm privy to this as well, do not allow somebody to tell you what your end game looks like. It's your end game. How could they possibly know? How could they possibly even have an idea? It's your end game. Your end game means you've seen what it looks like. You know the victory speech you're going to give. the victory lap you're gonna say, all of those things. That's when you know you're on your right path and you've accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. So please don't let other people and other things throw you off of that path. You need that.
Hey, it's that time of the day, and I like to say, and I'm gonna get back to the saying why I said it, but live your life like you're writing your obituary. And I'll get back to
Mm.
explain and break it down. But right now, the jewel of the day by Amir Silly. Hey, Prophet P, drop that drop. Let's go. Jewel of the day.
Hey everyone. I know that the summer in particular is the time of year when so many of us are happy. The weather's warm. You have the opportunity to be out and about amongst your people, amongst family and friends, and all of those various things. Here's what I want everybody to think about. We're getting ready to go into the fall and then hopefully into winter, depending on where you are around the country. Prepare for, or mentally prepare, and or physically prepare for whatever your journey has ahead of you. Why? Because there are going to be twists and turns. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be all kinds of beautiful things that you're going to encounter along the journey to whatever your destination is. But here's what I need you to know and think about. It's your destination. It's your journey. You guys have heard me say this time and time again. Make the adjustments to win your championship. Don't allow somebody else to give you ideas about how to win your championship, because it's not their championship. It's not a team meeting. It's not a group thing. This is a you thing. Please understand that you're going to have people, places, and things that are going to show up. They may not look in the format that you're accustomed to them looking. So please don't negate the fact that somebody might come to you with a business idea that might be helpful to you getting to where you're trying to get to. I can't do it right now. I don't have enough money. I'm not built like that. That's God talking to you. That's the universe talking to you. Whatever your higher power, higher being is speaking to you. And what they're trying to tell you is this is one of many vehicles that may help you get to your destination. So please don't shut down anything and everything that comes your way. Some of those things are coming your way because that is the universe, God, and or your higher power, higher being trying to help you get to where you're trying to get to. So keep that in mind as you move forward, especially as we close out this summer and we get ready for the fall campaign. I love y'all. Let's do this.
Drop that drop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the jewel of the day. Give him no other than the jewel dropper, Amir Silly, A-Rock Silly. I said right before we went into the jewel, live your life like you're writing your obituary, because that's exactly what you're doing. We don't think about it. We do all this shit and we live, we walk, we talk, we curse people out, we fight, blah, blah, blah. And we don't even know that this is all the shit that somebody's going to summarize into an obituary. Oh, my uncle didn't play. You know what I mean? Like, so if you walk and thought about that more, I think we would live better lives, do better things, and more good than bad. I bring that up because I've been off the news for about 72 hours on purpose, only to open it up right before the show and see that one of my favorites has passed away today. Amir, you know we do When We Were White Wednesdays. It was a big hit. People can't wait to play that game again and again and again. From one of my favorite movies, top 10 of all time, the movie Grease, Olivia Newton-John.
No.
Has passed away at the age of 70. So,
wow.
Yeah, she's Australian. She was a singer slash actress, came over here. Real name Dame Olivia Newton-John. Passed away gracefully and peacefully at her ranch in Southern California this morning, surrounded by family and friends, and they, hope and pray you respect the family's privacy. Her husband, John Eastering, wrote a statement on the verified Instagram account Olivia has been a symbol of triumphs and hopes over 30 years, sharing her journey, even with breast cancer. She battled with breast cancer. She revealed in September that she was treating a cancer at the base of her spine. It was her third cancer diagnosis, following bouts of breast cancer twice in the 90s, once in the 90s in 2017, and then got the spine cancer and finally passed away. But 1978, Greece.
Man.
Brother, when I tell you to this day, a classic ass movie. Um, it was just so well done. It was so entertaining. You just love to see how the writers could make this thing. You talking 78, bro. There's a lot going on in the world that could distract and fuck up a script or something. But to give you that breath of fresh air of entertainment. And here's the thing. Grease was so good, it made most of us feel like we like musicals. We found out we don't fucking like musicals. We like Grease.
True story. True story. First of all, rest in peace and sleep in peace to Olivia Newton-John. Talent hit the nail on the head. Like you said, if you have seen us do When We Were White Wednesdays, we talked and touched on that movie so often and had so much fun with it because, to his point, not only did it allow us to like musicals, but there was just so much about the movie that you could relate to in terms of you're growing up, trying to fit in, trying to figure certain things out about yourself. So much of what we do now is a microcosm of us trying to figure out what our new levels of fitting in look like.
Right.
So many of us have gotten seasoned, and hopefully you're in better spaces and places where you become comfortable with yourself, because this journey called life, all it really is about is you finding the best version of yourself that you can share with the world. That's all this is about. I know people think it's way more convoluted than that, but it really isn't. And the only reason why people seem to think it's more convoluted than that is because they're buying into the ideologies of you have to be this or you have to be that. You don't have to be any of those things. All you have to do is be the greatest version of you and share that with the world and allow the world to appreciate that and whatever version that looks like for them. Some people are going to like the asshole in you. Some people are going to like the good in you. Some people are going to like a combination of it. All of those are prevalent and honest to God ways to look at it. But please don't pigeonhole yourself into believing that this one specific version of anything, whether it be versions of you, versions of how you see the world, is what you believe that you're supposed to do, because it's not. Your job as a human being is to make, again, those adjustments as you move from moment to moment and make the moment be conducive to yourself and to anybody else who may be on that journey with you at that time. Because what tends to happen is we move into spaces sometimes where we'll be like, well, I don't like he or she because of this, that, and the third. Not understanding that he or she, they may be going through their own trials and tribulations. So they're acting the way that they're acting or doing what they're doing may not even have anything to do with you. That might just be them at a moment where they're trying to figure certain things out. So please give yourself that leeway. But it also leads to the fact that, what T said about writing your own obituary. Look, y'all, we all got to leave here sometime. That's the one thing one of the sayings, and, T always makes fun of all the sayings that we've heard as, kids up till now. They always say there's nothing sure but death and taxes. Y'all, I'm sure I've heard that. We all got to leave here at some point. I know some people are blessed enough to have a building erect with their name on it. So then people will go, oh, that's the such and such building, and they're happy about that. Some of y'all will have baked 1,000,000 pies or 1,000 cakes that people will go, yo, I miss such and such pies and cakes. Some of y'all are just going to be, the fact that you called and checked on people or sent people things to get through their day. I say all that to say this. Whatever it is your skill set requires and brings to the world, but brings that beauty in that format, please be proud of that. And don't get duped into believing that you have to do somebody else's job and be like somebody else. God, y'all are all like snowflakes. God created each and every one of y'all as an individual, beautiful thing. So please take that and know that as long as you're sharing that with the world will be appreciative of it. It is that simple. I know people, like I said, think it's much tougher than that. I'll be listening to folks. I'll be like, you sure about that? I'm not saying that to be mean, but I just need you to really listen to yourself and think about what you're saying about yourself, because that's what the world is then interpreting it as. Because as you see yourself and as you share yourself with the world, that's what the world feeds on. They don't know any better because they only know what you're allowing us to see. So you have to be mindful of that and go, how could I give the best version of me so that the world appreciates it and or doesn't? Because it's not your job to make everybody appreciate you. Some of y'all don't know, y'all are acquired taste. And everybody doesn't like everything. And that's okay. But for the people who do like it, you'll be surprised at how much they
How
love it.
many times I say that? Quiet taste, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, so I smile because I hear people, oh, this person doesn't like me. Why do you care? You can't control that. Oh,
How many times I say that, man? Nigga, you might be the Guinness stout of people.
and it's
Everybody don't like
okay.
it.
Yeah, and it's okay. I share this with folks. Know this: whatever you put in the universe, whatever you put in the world, you did it because that's what your heart and your spirit told you to do. Let the world figure out if they think that it's something that they want to partake in. And here's the thing, if nobody partakes, that's okay too. You didn't do it for that. You did it because your spirit and your heart told you, let me share this. If you start trying to, move according to what you think other people are going to gravitate to, you will hurt yourself every single solitary time. I promise you that, because
All
you
right.
can't dictate that.
And let me switch gears real quick. Let me motivate the men real quick. A lot of time we talk to women. It's time to talk directly to the fellas out there. Let me motivate you guys. Guys like women. Guys want women. Guys want to date. They want to blah blah blah. That's natural, guys. No, we have nothing wrong, nothing to say about it. However, let me motivate some of you guys, dickheads, if you will, assholes, how to get women one on your own. Stop worrying about anybody else. Everybody, I'm tired of motherfuckers going into a situation, fucking it up from the gate because you're worried about the last situation. You can only move on your merit, people. Guys, I'm talking to you. You can only move on your merit. Don't worry about whoever else married you. You know how many times you see a guy like a girl? He goes to the girl might feel she like the other guy. So for him, he thinks if he downs the other guy, brings him closer to victory. I'm here to tell you guys, that's pussy. That's systematic. That's faggot ass facts. Stay away from that. If you're a grown ass man, whatever you want, you know how you get it? You be the best grown ass man you can be. You show this person, hey, this is who I am. Let me see who you are. I'll compatible, and you go from there. What's gonna happen is gonna be for you has nothing to do. What's gonna happen is gonna be with somebody else. All you can do, people, is deal with you because you know you. You live with you. You was raised with you. You are you. There is no one you know better in life. I know it's gonna come as a shock. It's gonna blow some people's wings off. There is no one you know more better than you.
Yeah.
I know this is fucking mind boggling. This is breaking news. I know one second. I'm gonna say it again because I don't want to lose nobody. Believe it or not, I don't give a fuck. You're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. There is no one for the years you live from birth. There's no one you know better than you. You are you. So why, when we go to acquire things, when we go to accomplish things, when we go to set down some foundation or groundwork, those of us who have ever done that and building that foundation on the mentioning of someone else who may or may not came before you, you're starting off on weak concrete. You're building non-foundational from the beginning. My dudes, my guys, homies, bruh, niggas, man up.
Yeah. The only thing I'll add to that is this, and this is to the lady side of that. Look, Talon is absolutely right. Nobody. First, I'm gonna say this quote from a song because all of y'all have heard the song. Nobody can be you but you. So y'all have all heard that song, but I'm using the quote from that song because I want everybody to understand. To Talon's point about you understanding that nobody knows you better than you. That means not your kids, significant other, parents, friends, associates, whatever other things you might want to throw into the pot. Please stop going under the premise that you believe somebody else, something else, some other place, some whatever can afford you happiness. It can't. Only you can do that for you because you, to Talent's point, knows what make you tick. To you ladies out there, please stop getting on this emotional binge and highs and lows where you're like, but I don't understand because you won't share with me what makes you happy. I can't because you're not inside of me. And no matter what I say, you won't really be able to understand it. Sometimes happiness is just built in and based around peace of mind. And this goes for both sexes, by the way. This isn't just for one or the other. This goes for both sexes. But in understanding that and knowing that that's a part of the process, you then start to do things that allow for that. Because once you factor that in, then this person, be they male or female, now has a built-in situation where they can go, I can woosah it. We do so and work so hard on trying to think that there's some magical thing that you come up with that makes situations be perfect. There's no perfect, y'all. There's challenges arising, and the two of you put your heads together to figure out how to get past said challenge. That's it. That's it. No, I promise you, there's no magic anything. It's just that simple. And here's the thing, and I mean this to everybody in listening ear and anybody who's gonna watch this later. Learn how to talk about something and then let it go. You spoke about it. You can't. I get so enamored with us as a collective because we do wonderful things like this. We continue to bring something up, and we act like there's some time machine that you can jump in and go back and fix something that you messed up 6 years ago. Hell, 30 seconds ago. There's not. There's only going forward. But here's what happens when you go forward. You got to say to yourself, I'm going to keep on this path. And whatever, again, twists and turns come in the road, I'm going to make the banks like I'm supposed to. So this way I can get through it. But if you keep going back to the crash that we had 30 minutes ago, hour ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, we can't ever stay on this road that we're supposed to stay on. So I promise you, you don't start fixing your mind frame and your mindset when it comes to those kinds of issues, all you'll be is a crash dummy. So think about that. All you'll be is a crash dummy because what's going to happen is you'll keep running into the same obstacles. You'll keep crashing into the same things. That's because you won't let it go. I'm telling you, your mind is the most powerful thing on the planet. But you have to understand how to work it and how to utilize it so that you're getting the optimum results that you're looking to get. And that starts with you saying to yourself, I'm gonna have to let that go. I'm still mad. About what? You can't go back and you can't fix that. There's nothing you can do about it. This goes for your children. This goes for your significant others. This goes for your parents. When I tell y'all, there are so many of you who are stuck because you won't get out of your own way and go, you know what? Maybe my parents, maybe my significant other, maybe my kids are doing the best that they can under the circumstances at this particular time. Doesn't make them dumb. Doesn't mean that they don't care. It just means they're working off of what they understand at that time and in that moment. And that's okay. But you have to be okay with it. Please, y'all, work on that.
Get out of your own way. Like what you said, get out of your own way. It's fucking clear as fucking day to me. Like, get out of your own way. Like, that's the bottom line. His thing, like, okay, so you know how we got to a place, it took a while, but we got to a place in society where, like, say something like college, right? Because people would drop out all the time or start, don't finish, whatever. Okay. So we got to a comfortable place of saying, you know what? College ain't for everybody. Do we feel the same about relationships? Because I do. I feel like a relationship ain't for everybody. But who can be that real with life to really go down that road, really accept that piece of reality? Because there's a lot to accept, and a lot of people don't want to accept that, especially a person that may have fell in love with someone. I don't want to hear that shit. Yo, ain't for everybody.
And I think to your point, and I mean this humbly, not only is it not for everybody, but please know this. Just because a relationship doesn't work out in the format in which you'd like it to work out doesn't mean that it's not a good relationship. Doesn't mean it's not even a relationship. It just isn't in the packaging that you like. I don't know if any of y'all have been to the supermarket lately and seen the old Aunt Jemima pancake boxes. Now it's called something Mills or something. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I miss Aunt Jemima. I know, I know she's never coming back, and I understand how and why she's not. But the box just doesn't have the same oomph to me because I'm used to seeing Aunt Jemima on that box. Now, I'm sharing that with y'all because that's what I mean about packaging. And that's what I mean about trains of thought. Please don't allow yourself to miss out on greatness, whether it be a relationship, whether it be resources, whether it be an opportunity, because it didn't come in the packaging that you thought it should come in. Be mindful and thankful. You know what? I got somebody and or something that is appreciative of me, is building with me, loving on me, is pouring into me, and doing whatever they can under the circumstances and to the best of their ability. And let me be mindful and appreciative of that. Here's what people don't know. When you go out into nature and you look at trees or you look at the grass or you look at flowers, every day a flower isn't always in the sun. There's some days there's no sun on that flower. There's some days it doesn't rain. However, when it does rain, when the sun does hit it like it's supposed to, guess what happens? It grows like it's supposed to. So stop standing in your own way. Talent put it best 2 seconds ago when he said it. Some of y'all are standing in your own way. Get out of your way. Throw out them checklists. I'm not saying don't have standards. I'm not saying don't be in a mind frame and a mindset where you look at things and you want certain things to be in somewhat of or some sort of order. But some of y'all have these checklists and have these ideologies that are standing in your way from your own happiness and your own greatness. Why? If you see that it's not working, again, make the adjustment to win your championship. And that means I might have to throw this whole playbook out. Talon and I are sports dudes. We give sports analogies all day, every day because we sport guys. If you into sports, you ever watch a game and you be like, yo, they're going to have to throw that whole playbook away. They ain't not going to win this game. And sometimes you just got to you knuckle up and go, you know what? I'm going to take this and I'm going to go bear whatever and we're going to win. We're going to get this win. I promise y'all. Start doing that. Don't be caught up in the, it doesn't look like I want it to look. So what? So what? So what? Are you getting the results that you want to get? Are you winning? That's what you want. You want the win. So, you know, Talon can attest to this. Talon, how many football games have we watched where cats got ugly wins? We'd be like, that was an ugly win, but they won.
We'll take it though.
It's a win. Yo, I want the white horse and the picket house and on the picket fence, and that might not be your what you call it. But here's the thing: if you got a dude who's giving you, or woman for that matter, who's giving you all the amazing things that you can imagine, yo, it's twists and turns, and every other week That's an amazing adventure also. Don't be so caught up in, but I saw this venture. Yeah, you ain't in that lane no more. Get out of that lane. Obviously, that's not serving you. You're not getting the results you're looking for. Go for the results that you're looking for. And if it means there's no signing on the dotted line, if it means it doesn't work out to be specifically this, that, or the third, so what? So what? And please, this is major. Stop comparing your victory to someone else's victory. That's not your job. If your friends tell you, well, I don't understand why you see what you see, bitch, mind your business. Sir, mind your business. I mean that. And y'all kill me with that. Oh, it's not like, who cares? Who cares? This is your victory. This is your championship.
Right.
Whatever, however you got there, that's all that matters. You got
that's all that matters.
All right. I promise you. This is Motivational Monday. You know I love the hell out of y'all. As y'all can see, I'm out here in nature. Y'all see all the nature in the background, so y'all know I ain't whatever. But it's Motivational Monday. I was motivated today by this heat. I was motivated today by all the beauty that goes on out here. I promise y'all, I've seen deers, rabbits. Thankfully, I ain't seen no bear cubs, but everything else I've seen since I've been out here. But I'm appreciative of that because I'm predominantly in the city. All we hear is cars honking, freaking sirens and all that stuff. So sometimes you need to get away from that so you can rejuvenate yourself and just become one again and say to yourself, you know what? This is what I'm missing. This kind of pouring into myself and pouring into the world. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. You know my saying. It's nice to be important. It's much more important to be nice. Y'all take that with you. You utilize it. Follow this man over here. Y'all get on these motivational Mondays with us. And everything else that y'all see us do. And I promise y'all, we're just going to try to steer y'all to places and things that hopefully motivate you and put you in the spaces and places you need to be. I love y'all. Always.
Peace to the king. Peace to the God. This is Motivation Monday, y'all. Shout out to our super producer, Prophet Pete. Hope you picked up the jewel of the day. Hope we made a difference in somebody's direction and pushed it in a positive, motivating direction. God bless y'all. See y'all next Monday. Motivation Monday. Bye.
Bye.